friends, it's Kara here with Kinsley's Creative Palette, and I guess I'm not going to open that yet. Give me just a second. I guess I'm going to let Facebook jump on real quick. So we are in the middle of our move. We move in just a couple of days, and so my life is a crazy, chaotic mess, and it is the perfect time to insert our DIY home decor box. If you're brand new and you're like, what is it that you're talking about, a DIY home decor box? Every month I ship out a box of crafting goodies to my friends, and we do, hello Diana, and we do a crafting project together. Every month is different. You never know what you're going to get. It's a surprise. And this month is sunflower themed. And I just realized, oh, duh. I was going to say I forgot to get water, but I have a whole water jug sitting right here. So I'm going to grab water. The only other thing you're going to need for your box is some type of, if you want to do the stain technique instead of the paint, like where it's like, you know, just regular acrylic paint, get either baby wipes or I'm going to use Clorox wipes. So I'm going to grab my Clorox wipes real fast, and then I will show y'all what is in our box. So y'all give me just a second. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let me pour a little bit. These Clorox wipes have gotten dry. They've been sitting in my office, and I haven't been over here a lot. So anyway, hello, Miss Karen. All right, let me show you what we're going to make this month. I'm going to give you all the sneak peek first. Can you see how cute this is? So it is a wagon wheel with sunflowers. You could paint these like daisies if you wanted, but this kind of goes along with the door hanger that we're doing this month, which is a pot of sunflowers. Hello, sweet friend. So this is what we are creating tonight. If you're a member, make sure you stay on after we finished our crafting project, because I've got 6 giveaways tonight. We have gotten behind on our monthly giveaways. So I'm going to draw all the winners tonight and ship out all those prizes tomorrow. So friends, this is what the box, you know, all of them are a little bit different. Girl, my life is a mess right now. I get it. So you're just going to watch tonight and then craft later. So in the box, we've got a cute little, normally it's instructions, but this time really there's just a paint all your pieces, glue them together, and enjoy. So this is our little preview page. But I just mentioned prizes, and you're like, what are you talking about? Well, we do giveaways in our membership, and this is one of the ways that you can earn prizes. So oh, you didn't have one of those in your box? Gosh darn it. I'm sorry. My high school friend must not have stuck it in your box. But this says, wait, do you want more prize entries? Snap a picture with your fun stuff in your box and post on social media, and you'll get an entry to win a bonus in your next box. You get 2 entries if your sweet face is in the picture. So we do this every single month. That is where some of our prize entries come from. All right, so I'm going to lift this out right here, set the box to the side, and I'm going to flip my paper over so it's not wrinkled, and I'll show you. So we have our wagon wheel. We have this little thing of goodies, and I'm just going to bust mine open. And I did put the basic colors of paint that you would need, but I do encourage you to mix. Laura, are you kidding me? Okay, so I had a high school friend come and help me package the boxes, and I'm sorry that you didn't get one of those papers. You were supposed to get one of those papers. I printed those papers, but that's okay. It happens sometimes. So these are all of our pieces. So we've got, this is our greenery. Now you can see on mine, I did mine down at the bottom with the flowers, but you can do it wherever you want to. So I've got that then I've got the two middle pieces for our wagon wheel. I'm gonna actually turn this tape under. Now I'm gonna use my tape. Now, I tell y'all that I like to tape my pieces down so that I can paint them without them moving around. So I'm gonna, as I'm showing you all my pieces, which here are the paint colors you got this month. Then you got your super glue, and then got my flowers. Now these flowers are 3 parts. So I'm gonna pull this tape off, and I'm gonna reuse it. I'm gonna pull it off because it's right side up. Then I'm gonna tack it down on my paper. Now this time I'm going to separate my pieces. So I'm gonna put my, let me move this out of the way. I'm gonna put the outside of the flower part on one. Okay, now I'm gonna take this piece. I'm gonna do, what color do I want to paint this? Probably brown. All right. I'm gonna do that. These are the very outsides of my flowers. So these are like the backgrounds. I'm gonna put those on there. If I don't call you by name and you say hello, it's because it says Facebook user. It doesn't tell me who is talking to me. So I apologize if I am not sure who it is. Okay, so I'm going to turn this under. And I've got these little flowers, which I'm going to paint mine white with little yellow centers. What did I just do with that? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was like, where did my paintbrush go? So I'm going to kind of move these over. And then I'm going to put the centers of my flowers on here. Right now I'm just setting everything up. I'm so glad you like this one. And then last but not least, welcome. Okay. Now I'm leaving my welcome taped in there just like that. So don't pull your tape off your welcome. Now it is, I know it looks like this is the bad side, but I had to do that in order to be able to leave it in there and pick it up with the tape. So that's why it looks like that, but we're going to paint over that anyway. So don't worry about it. But the first thing that we're going to do, I set this off to the side, is we're going to start mixing our paint. And I'm going to do my wagon wheel a 2-colored stain. You see how it's like a lighter in the inside and darker on the outside. So I need to mix those. So let me grab a Clorox wipe. If you have baby wipes, whatever type of wipe you have, you can use. Squeeze some of this water out. All right, let me get my wipe. And okay, and I do put a glove in there, so if you would want to put, which I'm going to put a glove on my right hand because that's the one I'm going to be using to dip in the paint. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some of my brown on my plate. You don't need a whole lot, but I'm going to put some brown on one little area and on another. I'm going to close this up, and then I'm going to get some black. Now, if you don't want to do browns, you don't have to. Let's see, I think I'm going to do the black. This part. I want like a dab of black. Like I don't want much black at all. Okay, so I've just got a tiny bit of black right there. I'm going to take the back end of my paintbrush. I'm going to kind of just mix that in. I think I'm going to want a little bit more black. So you just want to do a little bit at a time until you get it the color you want. I just want there to be a significant difference. Let me use this. Scoop this out. Oh, over here making a mess. Okay, there we go. Now we are a significant difference. Okay, so now it is a brown black. And I know I just wiped it off on my wipes, but that's okay because I'm just going to kind of use it to stain with anyway. So I'm going to wipe all that. I'm going to go in the darker first. And friends, this is not two separate pieces, this darker part. So you're just going to have to be a little bit careful as you go around the outside. So we're just going to dip in the darker paint. Okay, got it on here. And then because we're doing this like a stain, we're just going to kind of rub it. We're just going to kind of rub it. We're going to go all the way around it. And I realize we just jumped right into our project. Hello, Miss Kathy. So we're just going to all the way around. Just kind of rubbing this in. This is so therapeutic. And when you start to, you can kind of see, just got kind of a dark brown stain color going on. Go all the way. You want to kind of put the paint on and then rub it off. And it doesn't take very much. I'm just going to keep going around. I love this technique because it doesn't take much material. It doesn't take much paint at all. And it works just really quickly. And if it doesn't get dark enough the first time and you want to do it darker, you can just go back and put another layer on. We just got back. My son was practicing football with his old team till we leave. And so we were hustling back from the field so I could get to the live on time, and we were a couple minutes late getting out of practice. So please forgive my tardiness. It was not intentional. Okay, so I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to switch to the lighter. So I'm just going straight into this lighter, and that is actually going to be a little bit too dark. So I'm going to grab some white. Let me put this lid on, and I'm going to get the white that's in here. Let's see, open this and put some white down here. Get the back of my paintbrush. We're just going to kind of mix. Same thing. I just want it to be significantly lighter. Okay, so now we'll go back to our white. I'm going to lighten that up, and then we're going to just kind of rub this, get that paint. Rub that where I kind of put that darker on. I'm just going to kind of rub it to liquidate it a little bit. And there you can kind of see the difference in the two colors. Kind of hard to tell in the camera, but there's a lighter brown. So we're just going to go all the way around like that. And all of our spokes, being careful right where they come together. And if you're not a current box member, but you would like to be a future box member, text the word link to 740-273-8101, and we will let you know when we have spots open for new members. They are on a first come, first served basis. So the best way to know if we open new spots is to be on that list. All right. Just getting all those spokes done. Okay, so I've got a little bit over here, so I'm gonna just kind of use the clean part of my wipe and make sure that that's all good. Grab another wipe real quick. Okay, let's see, I'm gonna squeeze the water out. All right, got one little spot right here that I need to clean up my wipe. All right, so let me show y'all what that wagon wheel looks like. Okay, so we do have our lighter color on the inside, darker on the outer. I think I'm done with this, but I'm gonna leave it here just in case. And now I'm gonna use my paintbrush and I'm gonna go ahead and start putting a coat of white on the things that need white. So I'm gonna do my, let me show you the sample again. See that? So I'm gonna do my white flowers and I'm gonna do my white letters because they're gonna need at least 2 coats. I'm just gonna dip right in here. We're gonna paint this right inside this little like stencil that it's sitting in. So funny, we just get home from football and my son's playing basketball. Sports all the time. I'm just brushing it on. I'm not being careful. Just brushing it on. Now you will want to be careful when you pop your letters out. Sometimes they can kind of stick a little bit. But we're going to do all of our painting of the letters before we pop them out. All right. I think that's good for the first coat. So now we're going to paint our little flowers. This tape helps so much because it just kind of holds it in place. There we go. Paint, paint, paint. Oh, I must have gotten some paint on my hands because I touched these. All right. As soon as that first coat is dry, which it should be pretty dry pretty quick, I'm going to start brushing a second coat on. Now, if you want it to look stained and not super opaque, you can just do 2 coats. I'll probably go back and do at least 1 more quick coat to get it as bright white as I want it. But that is completely your preference. All right, there's that. Another quick coat on the flowers. I do want these flowers to be bright white because I like that pop of brightness on this like fall themed colored piece. Okay, I'm going to put this in my water. And then I'm going to go ahead and start working on the greenery. Now, I'm going to paint my greenery this green color. Feel free to mix and get whatever color green you want. So I'm going to go straight. It's kind of a sagey, avocado-y green. But if you want to mix it with black or brown or yellow even, mix it however you like. This is your project. Okay, so I'm just going to put some of this on here. Okay. And then I'm going to use the stain technique to do the green too. So I'm just going to use my wipe and I'm going to dip it into my green. Oh. And then we're just going to kind of rub it on. Now, if you get too much, if your wipe is too wet, you're probably going to have to go back and do another coat because mine was a little bit too wet. So I'm going to just kind of brush this on. Need more room. Okay, so there is that part painted green. I'm gonna leave that sitting there, let that dry. I might brush another quick coat over the top of it. I'll just wait and see what I think. Now let's do the black and the gray. I'm actually going to do a black, and I'm just going to dip straight into my paint for this. But I'm going to do black for my inner circle. I mean my inner. Yeah, I said that right the first time. Black for my inner circle. And then I'm going to do gray for the outer circle. So I'm going to dip in my white, and then I'm going to dip in my black. I'm going to bring it right here, and I'm just going to mix just a little bit right here. And then I'm going to just brush it on. Get back over here. You know what I love about this project is we're just kind of getting back to the basics. All we're doing is just a little bit of paint and a little bit of glue. But we're getting to mix colors, so yours doesn't have to look just like mine. Okay, so I've got my gray, black, green, white. We're going to need more white. I'm going to need to paint another coat, so let me go ahead and do that. Dip back in my white. I keep closing these little containers, and then I wish that they were open. All right. Can y'all hear my puppies barking? They're mad at me because they know I'm home and they're outside. Whoops. So what's everybody up to? I feel like I've been like MIA because of our move. Whew, man, it is not for the faint of heart moving. Today I was packing up my embroidery thread. I don't know. A lot of y'all don't know this, but that's kind of how I got started originally in business years and years and years ago. yes, you do have my video, so you can go back. But I got started when my kiddos were little. I used to make, or not make, I would applique and embroider their clothes. And so I started doing it for our preschool when we were in Columbus, Georgia. And it's kind of just how I got started. So it's like my first love. I'm so glad you love this craft. I'm so glad you love this craft. I love this craft. And I love that it goes with our virtual paint party door hanger this month too. I think that's so fun. Okay, so I was packing my embroidery thread today, and I just went into the dry. I sure did. I had a dry and a wet bucket here, and I went into my dry. But anyway, I had a whole wall of thread, and so I had to order this stuff to wrap around it so it wouldn't all unravel. And it was a pain in the butt today, but I did a project today for someone that I've done embroidery work for since I moved here, and she had asked me to do a last minute project for her, and said yes. It was a 92-minute stitch out. Now, my embroidery machine does 800, or I had it on the speed, was 800 stitches per minute, and it took 92 minutes. So I was in here for a really long time today, and I was working on our next month's box, which is super cute. It actually has a stencil component to it. That's awesome. Laura, I did not know that. Laura said she started out sewing, then embroidery and fabric painting, then crafting, and she painted clay pots for several years. That is super cool. Well, so I was working on cutting all of our stencils for the next DIY home decor box. All right, friends, I'm going into my yellow. Now, you're going to want 2 shades of yellow. I'm going to do straight yellow for these back pieces. Okay, so I'm just going to paint my yellow right on. These are the solid pieces, okay? These aren't the ones with the hole in them. Just solid yellow. You can do it however you want. You can add some brown to it if you want. but I'm doing these just solid yellow. Just brush it on. But yeah, when I started that stitch out today, I was like, holy cow, a 92-minute stitch out. I think that that was a new record for me. But it turned out beautiful, so hopefully the customer liked it. All right. Can y'all see that? Yep. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to get some of this yellow, drop it on my plate, and I'm going to actually mix some of this darker brown with it. And this is going to be my top yellow. Not a lot different, just a little bit. So I'm just brushing that on these pieces that have the holes in it. I might get a little bit more brown. Yep, there we go. And this just kind of makes it, I don't know, just a darker yellowish. And if you don't want it to be all like solid, if you want it to kind of have some streaks, totally just brush it on that way. Don't let your paint mix all the way, and you'll get that effect. So I'm just kind of brushing it on quickly. And if I get some spots that have more of this bright yellow and some spots that have more of the dark, that's okay. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, I think we're good. I've got this shadow over here, so it's kind of hard to see. But I'm going to pick one of these up and show you. Just brushing this on a little bit. This is still, I'm still the darker, but I'm kind of just unloading my brush, just drying my brush off on these to get the rest of that paint. Now I'm going to go right back into the, actually, let me rinse this off a little bit. And then I'm going to go back into that just bright yellow, and I'm going to put another coat on that back piece. So on these back pieces, do a second coat. And this should be plenty. And if you're like, Kara, we haven't painted the middles of our flowers yet, that's okay. I know, we haven't forgotten. Laura, I can only see part of your comment. Oh, you can post a picture, but you have to wait till I'm not live anymore, and then we would love to see it. If you have a picture, that would be awesome. Okay, so here is what we have so far. We have our green that is going to go on our wagon wheel. All right, I'm just going to kind of set it over here. Wipe that off. Make sure. Just going to kind of set it there. Then we have our welcome words, which are going to get out in just a minute. Then we have our double layered flowers. So I've got my darker fronts and brighter backs. And then I've got these white flowers, which, while I'm thinking about it, you're going to take the back end of your paintbrush, okay? You're going to dip right into that yellow. You're going to up and down just one time in the center of all of these flowers if you want them to have a bright yellow center. So I'm just doing kind of a heavy dot right there in the middle. All right, I think I want this one to be a little bit bigger. Go in there again. All right, so that's how we do our quick, easy dot centers. All right, now I'm going to dip into my brown, this darker brown that I mixed earlier, which you might need to mix some more. And I'm just going to kind of dry brush that on. I've got some of that yellow still in my brush. That's okay. This is just our first coat. Let me get some more of this brown paint. All right, I'm using the end of my brush just to get some paint onto my plate. All right. And then get some black. Same thing. I'm just gonna use the back of my paintbrush. Y'all are like, woman, you're messy. I know, I am. I'm not gonna apologize for it. Sometimes getting crafty and messy is fun. All right, so I'm just kind of mixing this darker brown. And I'm gonna paint the insides of these sunflowers. So these are dark. Like I said, I did not wash this brush out. Just straight into it. All right. So I just want a good solid coat on that. It's probably not going to need another coat because of all that, just because of how dark it is. But I'm going to go ahead and clean my brush real quick. Dry it on both sides. I'm going to get all that paint off. All right. Now, let me show you up close. So if you look right at the center of my flowers, I kind of have just some messy, almost like a dabbing motion is what I did. And I did this with the yellows and the whites. So just up and down. And I'm just going to kind of do it along one side, not the whole thing. And then I'm just going to keep filling my brush. Almost in like a, ooh, that has too much. Doesn't have enough yellow. Almost in like a moon shape right along the side. Oh, that was too much dabbing, but we'll go back and fix it. All right, let me get most of that off. Okay, so just kind of up and down. And I did one of those a little bit more heavy-handed than the others, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to take this glove off, and I'm going to show y'all how to work these letters out. Okay, so you're going to use your tape and just kind of wiggle. Okay, you're just going to kind of wiggle. You don't want to break your letters. You just want to kind of wiggle them out. Okay, if they kind of get stuck and they don't want to come, don't force, just gently wiggle them out. Okay, like I'm pushing up from the back and kind of working that stencil away from the welcome letters. Don't break them. Okay, just wiggle, don't force. And sometimes the paint, because we paint them right in this stencil, the paint will kind of stick, make them stick. I'm going to get the back end of a paintbrush, and I'm just going to kind of push in this spot where it's not wanting to come out because it's got paint in there. Let's see, there we go. Still that one spot. Let me pull this tape off right there. All right, we're getting close. There we go. I just popped that piece right through. Okay, there. All right, so now I've got my welcome, but I do have a couple pieces that still need to be popped out. You can use the back of your paintbrush for that. That one's a little bit too thick, so let's go to the smaller one. Now we have our welcome words. So now is when you get to kind of have fun with it, and as if you're not already having fun with it, and you get to arrange it however you want to. Okay, so like I showed you before, this is what mine looked like, but I think I'll do this one just a tad bit different. So let's get our glue now that we have all of our pieces. Excuse me, you might want to wait and let yours dry just a little bit. But I think I'm going to do mine at the top this time. I'm going to kind of put my words. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you need to have your welcome tacked down in enough places that it's not going to break. So it needs to be You see how I went all the way to this side and then I've got it up here. Every one of these joints where it's touching the back of the board, it needs to have glue. Okay, that's really important. But I want to kind of arrange everything before I use my glue. So I'm going to put that right there. And then this little piece goes on top. Then I've got my 3 flowers. Now I am going to put the big one in the middle, just because I feel like it kind of centers it. So I'm going to put those there. And I'm going to kind of move them so they're not all right next to each other. And then these pieces will go right over the top. I'll show y'all in just a second. Okay, I've got to get a little bit of paint off of that because I don't want it to spread on my project. All right, there we go. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, let me show y'all the difference in these colors. So y'all know I added the brown color to that sunflower. You see how the back is darker than the front? It just kind of gives the illusion of 2 different colors of petals. Okay, so I'm just kind of setting these here just so you can get an idea of, so you can arrange it before you glue your stuff down and say, oh man, I wish I would have done that different. Okay, this one, these little flowers, friends, mine still have a little bit of paint in the cracks. So I don't want to get paint, white paint on my green or my greenery. But let me pick up one of these. So these are going to just drop right down in the middle to make your sunflowers. Can y'all see that? Y'all see how pretty that is? So the one thing I will say is I'm going to turn all of those little like moon shapes that I told you I painted on my sunflower middles. You'll see. I'm going to do them all the same way. So it kind of looks like the sun's hitting them all from the same way. So just decide where you want kind of that sun to be coming from. And then, you know, let those middles all kind of go that kind of same direction. So it looks like more of a shadowing. Okay, I'm going to take these off and I'm going to start gluing now that I know that's where I want everything. If I can find my glue. There it is. Okay, so with this super glue, just open it, kind of flip it over, puncture that top. I hate super glue. I really do. Okay, but it gets our projects done really fast and you don't have to wait for anything to like dry. So that's the reason we always use super glue. Okay, so what I'm going to do with my welcome is I'm going to kind of pick up, and everywhere that was hitting, I'm going to drop some glue. Now, I kind of over dropped glue, and that's okay. I wanted more. I'd rather have too much than not enough because I want those letters to stay on. Don't want to worry about them being weak and coming off. I'm just going to kind of hold that down for a second. Just hold them down. All right, now I'm going to do this middle. Put just a little bit of glue. Set the gray piece. Just a little bit of glue and set my black piece. I love how fun or how quick this project is. All right, same thing here. I'm going to just kind of look and see where it's hitting. And then I'm just going to kind of put my glue right along that line. I'm going to set it on there and hold it down. Next will be these flower backs. Make sure I'm not gluing that to my paper. So I'm going to do this one in the center. Actually slightly off center. I'm going to do this one, and then I'll do this one right there. Now I'll do these little pieces. Just going to put just a dab of glue in all those little spots and set it on there. And this one, and all the little petals, and set it on. You kind of want to set it so it's off center, so it It's not like straight on the flower, so that you can see the petals behind it. Okay. Now I'm going to do these centers. Sure, get all that off my hands. All right, so my sun, I'm going to do all mine this direction. Okay, there's one. I'll show y'all in just a second. I'm sorry, I know it's hard to see. My setup at the studio was way better, but it's all packed up. All right, there's that piece. And now I'm going to do these little white pieces. Just randomly place them wherever you want. There's 5 of them. And they just kind of give a bright pop of white. Oh, I don't think I got enough glue on that. It's sticking to my finger. Okay, there we go. That. Oh, there we go. I hope y'all like this project. This is one of my favorites. It's funny, I've already done this one 3 times. This is my 3rd time. I can't even remember why I did it 3 times. I feel like I was trying something different to see. I don't even remember. But yeah, it's my 3rd one. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I got 2 of these middles a little bit too bright. So what I want to do is I want to tone those down. I'm going to kind of lift this up and show you. Can you see how this one is not as bright and it looks better than these? So I want to go back and dry brush and get my brush, dry it off real good. I'm going to get in this dark brown. I want to offload most of it. And then I'm just going to up and down and kind of soften that so it's not so bright. And by making that dry brush, it almost looks like a little dots like the sunflower seeds. You'll see that up close. And you can blend that out more if you want to. Do a little bit more. And just get it however you want it. But the main thing is make it yours. I added a little bit of darker black going toward the middle this time. Just kind of tone it down just a little. Okay, let me show y'all. Can you see? All right, so this is our project for the month. I hope that y'all loved it. Now it is time. I'm so excited. Forgot my, I'm going to let y'all pick, okay? I'm not going to tell you who is numbered, but I'm going to tell you I need a number 1 through something. And the first number that appears, what I'll do is that'll be the one for that page, okay? I've got 6 pages here. All right, some of them are big numbers, some of them are little numbers. Okay, but here is our project. So I'm going to set this right here so y'all can still see it. Let me prop it up a little bit. All right, let me close my paint lids. I'll actually put my fingers in them. All right, first one, okay? And it's the first number that I see pop up. I need a number 1 through 19. Pick a number 1 through 19, put it in the comments. Thank you, Belinda. 6. Okay, Laura says 6. All right, so our first winner is Lisa Limley. She won our first giveaway. Okay, pause. I'm going to stop for just a minute. And next, the number I see now is 11. So I see 6, 13, 15, 15, and 11. I need number 1 through 5. Put a number 1 through 5. So it's whatever comes after the 11. 4. Oh, wait, 3. Karen Lynn said 3. Okay, she was first. So Kelly Kimball is our second winner. Okay. I see 3, Okay, Diana Crut is the last one with number 4. Okay, so stop there. Now I need a number 1 through 4. So whoever, somebody after Diana Crut's 4, I need another one, 1 through 4. And I get this question a lot. Okay. Oh, I see it. Josie, hey. All right, I got 2 2s. So 2 in a row, 2s. Kelly Kimball. Didn't you just win? Okay, so that brings me to my next point. I get this question a whole lot. Can I win more than one time? Yes, you can win over and over. You can win both contests each month. Speaking of, okay, the next winner, let me see how many more we have. We have 3 more. The next winner is, and this was a, so we do 2 different contests. One is a hashtag contest, and then one is an interaction in our private group contest. So it's like the more you interact, the better chance you have to win. So Laura Jones Goss won this one. So she was our highest interaction one month. The next month was Karen Lynn. So you won that one. And now I need one more number. Okay, so now I need numbers. I've got the numbers 1 through 12. First one in the comments, go. I see Diana Crut. So somebody after Laura says awesome and Karen says yay. Yes, y'all both won. Okay, 12. Laura, you won again. All right, so here are our winners tonight. Just for y'all, for my sweet group members, we've got Lisa Limley won. Kelly Kimball, Laura Jones Goss, Karen Lynn, and Laura Jones Goss. So I will be getting y'all's prizes out in the mail. They're already packaged up. I'm not even telling you what's coming. You just have surprises. Here's what I did for this month's surprises. I've been grabbing stuff throughout the summer, and I've been sticking it in packages for prizes. But what I did was I pre-packaged them. So even I don't know what you're getting. I just know it's something fun. But I will tell y'all, you know, I taught you a while back how to use napkins with your crafting, something that I had learned from Tracy over at the Little Blue House, which I absolutely adore. And so some of the prizes that are headed out the door are going to be things that you can napkinize. And if you're like, what are you talking about? Well, we learned how to use napkins in our crafting projects, and Miss Tracy calls it napkinize. And so I've just adopted that term from her. So you might want to, you know, if you get one of those prizes, I would love it if you would show us whatever you make. You can just paint whatever it is, but they're unfinished wood projects that would be super cute napkinized. So I will get y'all's prizes out. If you won 2, I'm going to package them together if that's okay. That way you have a better chance of one not getting lost in the mail. But thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. Friends, I would love prayer over the next few days. Our family is going to be traveling, and just there's a lot of chaos going on. We've got there's a whole lot of things that still need to happen. Like my kids need to still get into school. We have no furniture at the new place. And so we're going to put what we can into a box truck and be living, you know, out with just whatever we can for the next few weeks until our stuff can get there. So just prayers for just this transition. We would love, love, love your prayers. Appreciate y'all so very much. And I promise I will be in touch. If you are a virtual paint party member and you're waiting for the new project, which is the sunflowers in a tin bucket, which is super cute. I will be painting that and posting that in the group in the next few days. And I just thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. Thank you for letting me have a little bit of a creative break before I get back to packing. I think I'm going to go jump in the shower, eat some dinner. And then kind of make my game plan for tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be a big day. I've got some young boys are coming over to help us just put what we can into a moving truck, just to make it as comfortable as possible for the next couple of weeks. And our kids are starting school next Tuesday. And this is, I mean, it's big, you know, moving to a new state and starting a new school, making new friends, and then coming home and not even having your furniture. So, yeah, just prayers that I can be the mom they need over the next couple of weeks. And I mean, all the time. But yeah, so thank y'all so much. And yes, I will be in touch. And please know if you don't hear from me for a few days, it's because I am treading water. But I'm still here. So message me if you need me. And thank y'all and have a good night. Bye, friends.